Have you ever wondered what it truly takes to build a $50 million personal empire, entirely in your own name, while living in the most famous house on earth? Melania Trump went from a communist-era housing block in Slovenia to First Lady of the United States. But the story most people never hear is the one that happened in between. The QVC jewelry line that sold out in 45 minutes. The skincare brand. The $40 million Amazon documentary deal. The #1 New York Times best-selling memoir. The production company she launched immediately after. Every single empire, built under her own name, on her own terms, without asking anyone's permission. This is that story. Subscribe to Lavish Standard, luxury lifestyle, and wealth content every week. Have you ever wondered what it truly means to build something extraordinary, not because you were born into it, not because someone handed it to you, but because you decided, at 16 years old in communist Slovenia, that the life you were given was not the life you intended to live? Most people know Melania Trump as the First Lady, the woman in the $80,000 Dior gown at the King of England's state dinner. But today we are telling a completely different story. The story of $50 million that has nothing to do with Donald Trump, a jewelry line, a skincare brand, a reported $40 million documentary licensing deal, a production company called Muse Films, a memoir, all built under one name, her own, on her own terms, without asking anyone's permission. This is the Melania Trump story most people never hear. Pure original Melania formula opening, philosophical question, build to the contrast, end with the promise of the extraordinary. Have you ever wondered, is your signature opening same tone as your 122K video? The list of businesses at the end should be delivered with quiet accumulating weight, not rushed. Let each one land. Today, the journey from communist Slovenia to Vogue covers, built entirely before she met Donald Trump. The QVC jewelry she designed herself, and what she called it. The reported $40 million documentary deal, and the company she launched before it even screened. Stay until the end. The last detail changes everything. Melania was born in Sevnica, Slovenia, then part of communist Yugoslavia, where her father worked in a car factory and her mother sewed children's clothes. Most children who grew up in communist-era Yugoslavia could expect a life shaped entirely by the system around them. State employment, state housing, state-defined ambition. Melania looked at that life and chose a completely different one. At 16, she began modeling. At 18, enrolled at university studying design and architecture. She signed with a Milan agency and dropped out after 1 year to pursue modeling full-time. Milan led to Paris. Paris led to 12 castings a day on the metro. No phone, foreign city, foreign language, competing against hundreds of girls with nothing but a portfolio and a refusal to go home. Her Paris roommate described her as very determined, very ambitious, so strong-minded. In 1996, she moved to New York City, alone. Within 2 years, she was working with Helmut Newton, Patrick de Marchelier, and Mario Testino, the most celebrated photographers on earth. Covers of Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, British GQ, Sports Illustrated. 5 languages spoken fluently. She did not arrive in New York as Donald Trump's girlfriend. She arrived as Melania Naus, a working model with a European career and a New York ambition. Donald Trump came 2 years later. Before we go inside the business empire she built entirely under her own name. If you are new to this channel, this is Lavish Standard. Every week we go inside the extraordinary lives of the world's most fascinating and wealthy people. Subscribe so you never miss a single story. Now back to Melania. In 2010, Melania launched Melania timepieces and jewelry on QVC. She was already married to a billionaire. She did not need to work. She did not need the money. She chose to anyway. And the reason she gave tells you everything about who Melania Trump truly is. She described it as a symbol of financial independence. Most women married to billionaires do not feel the need to sell jewelry on television to establish independence. Melania Trump did. She was involved, in her own words, from A to Z for every piece. The line debuted in April 2010. It sold out in under 45 minutes. The entire collection, gone. Over the following decade, it generated over $45 million. Not from a Trump building, from a jewelry line she designed herself, because she believed every woman deserves to earn her own independence. But the jewelry line was only the beginning. In 2011, a premium skincare line with the same hands-on approach. In 2024, the memoir Melania, debuting at #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. A woman who almost never speaks publicly wrote the most talked about book in America that week. Then her NFT collection, Melania's Vision, digital artwork sold directly on the Solana blockchain. The Head of State collection, featuring the iconic white Hervé Pierre hat from her 2025 inauguration. No department store, no middleman, direct to her audience. Most luxury brands spend years fighting for shelf space. Melania sold her own image as digital collectible art. And in January 2025, the dollar Melania cryptocurrency. Controversial, audacious, consistent. She has never once asked for permission to enter any market she chose to enter. In January 2026, Amazon MGM Studios released Melania, a documentary she conceived, produced, and executive produced herself, after paying a reported $40 million to license it. The film broke the record for the biggest opening for a non-fiction feature in over a decade. Most documentaries about political figures are produced after their time in office. Melania Trump's documentary broke box office records while she was still serving as First Lady. Amazon paid a reported $40 million to license the film, one of the largest documentary deals in history. Most documentaries about political figures are lucky to find a distributor. Melania Trump's documentary commanded one of the biggest licensing fees ever paid for a nonfiction film. Her stylist Hervé Pierre described her in the film. She was a model. It's fantastic because we speak the same language. The only woman in America who could receive that deal and have her creative collaborator describe her not as a celebrity, but as a fellow professional who speaks the language of visual communication. A model who became a businesswoman, who became a first lady, and never forgot the order in which those three things happened. And then, before the documentary even released, she launched her own production company. Not after, before. Named Muse Films, after her own Secret Service codename. She announced it with a 10-second video on X. No fanfare, no press conference, no ribbon cutting, just a name, a logo, and a quiet signal that one extraordinary project was only the beginning. She did not wait for the deal to succeed before building the infrastructure for the next one. To the 337 years of average American salary calculation is your most powerful ordinary people comparison in the entire script. Deliver it with the same weight as Ambani's $2 a day workers comparison. The production company reveal is your Act 3 closer. It should land with quiet amazement. She took a $27 million payout and immediately built another business. That is the character statement at IN 2026. Melania launched Love and Gratitude, a $245 necklace on her own website, made in America, with proceeds going to foster children. Most luxury jewelry sells to the wealthy. Melania's 2026 line donates to children who have no parents to buy it for them. And then the fashion, not as indulgence, but as the most precise diplomatic communication in American political life. For the King Charles State Dinner in April 2026, she wore a pale delphinium pink Dior haute couture gown worth $80,000. Most people choose a color because they like it. Melania chose pale delphinium pink because it is one of King Charles's favorite flowers. She welcomed him dressed in his favorite flower and said nothing about it. That is not fashion. That is diplomacy. All of it. Without ever once holding a press conference, giving a spontaneous interview, or responding to a single critic. She has been criticized continuously since 2015 and has never modified a single decision in response. That is not stubbornness. That is the most extraordinary self-confidence money cannot buy. Her personal net worth, $50 million. Not Trump Tower, not Air Force One, hers. The question nobody can answer. If she had never met Donald Trump, would she have built something smaller or something even larger? Melania Trump's personal net worth is $50 million built entirely in her own name. Her critics say she built it on the Trump name. Her defenders say she built it despite the Trump name. Which do you believe? And what surprised you most about her story? Tell me in the comments. I reply to every single one in the first hour. 16 years old in communist Slovenia. 12 castings a day in Paris. A jewelry line sold out in 45 minutes. A $40 million documentary licensing deal. And Muse Films, her own production company, launched before it even released. An $80,000 Dior gown chosen in her king's favorite flower. Communicated without a single word. $50 million built entirely in her own name. That is not a love story. That is a business story. And it is one of the most extraordinary in modern American history. What surprised you most? Drop it in the comments. I reply to everyone in the first hour. And if this video fascinated you, the greatest style battle in White House history is on this channel right now. Melania versus Ivanka. Click it next. What surprised you most about Melania Trump's extraordinary empire? Her QVC jewelry line sold out in 45 minutes, and she designed every single piece herself, a $27 million personal payout from one documentary deal. Then she immediately launched a production company, a #1 New York Times best-selling memoir written by a woman who almost never speaks, publicly choosing delphinium pink for the King Charles dinner because it is his favorite flower, without saying a single word about it, building $50 million entirely under her own name while serving as First Lady? Drop your answer below and tell me, did she build this despite the Trump name or because of it? I reply to every comment in the first hour.